Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming and joining us. We're here at WMT to continue our Chanchi instructions from Master YongHua. Let's get started. There's a question here, 8.
Master, this question is from yesterday. It's from Ji Young. And her question was, she wrote it on, I think there's a little problem with the sound system in Korea. They said they can't hear you. Should we wait a little bit?
Which part of Korea? JMT or JC? I think JC seems to be okay.
Continue? Okay. So, I'm going to read in Korean first. 항상 감사합니다. 영화 스님을 비롯한 모든 분들에게요. 질문 올립니다. 제 근무지가 바뀌었습니다. 함께 근무하는 사무실에 우울증 약을 복용하는 상사가 있습니다. 매일 아침 인사가 잠을 잘 못 잤다며 힘들어합니다. 오늘도 마찬가지고요. 생각이 그러한 건지 낯선 환경인지 그 상사 때문인지 저도 몸이 좀 피곤하고 힘든 것 같습니다. 약사 열애부를 계속 염하려고 있습니다. 이 사무실 환경에서 어떤 기도를 해야 하며 어떻게 하면 좋을지 말씀을 부탁드립니다. Thank you for always for everyone, including Master YongHua. I have a question today. My workplace has changed. In the office, I have a boss who takes depression medication. My boss's morning greeting has been the boss struggling with the sleeping problems at night. Today is same. I also feel a bit tired and struggle, maybe because of an unfamiliar environment, because of the boss or my own thoughts. However, I continue to recite Medicine Master Buddha's name. Please let me know in this office environment what kind of prayer I should do and what can I do to help the situation. Thank you.
At work? Oh, that's a tough issue. How long has this person been at work?
According to her question, she just moved to a new environment, new office place.
What does she do? See, this needs the specific details that we should ask for. Okay. Go ahead, JC.
This is one of the 3 teachers you met in Seongnyeonsa that we've been in contact. They came to JMT a few times. They also came for, I think, one of the Ganinchi. That's the one out of 3 people that are more involved with you.
Okay, so in this case here, because she has been cultivating with us, we will recommend that she, it's part of the job. Actually, it's the nature of the workplace. Wherever you go, you need to learn to adapt to the environment, okay? And therefore, if need be, you should recite more frequently. And what you do, what people typically do in a challenging work environment is I highly recommend that they meditate more. Especially, for example, in the morning. Make sure you meditate in the morning because it will make you more stable, more stabilized. And then during the day, when you have a chance, cross your legs and recharge. Okay? And in this kind of environment, you have to be very careful. You have really meditation is the safest way for you to deal with it. And if you happen to find yourself being feeling down and stressed out, then it's not a good sign. Be very careful, okay? Yeah. And so watch out for that. If you find yourself changing, become more pessimistic, and so forth, I would be a lot more cautious, okay? Okay, anything else? Okay, let's continue.
So if someone asks, we don't need to reply right now. Then there's no issue. Otherwise, the landlord will want to take it back. At the very least, we probably can maintain here for half a year or more.
Okay, stop. All right, so here the last two slides here are about ending that story about their acquiring a new building in San Francisco, Chinatown, and they're fixing it up, and one of the workers there got in trouble. He hurt himself and bled some blood. So he says, keep it under the lid. Don't say anything. Be careful. Don't pay more attention. And they are hoping that they could get by and keep the building and be able to use it for a while. Okay. Any questions about this story about the building and so forth? Yes. 6.
Master, is Great Master talking about the mattress factory, or is this another location?
The mattress factory. That's all they have. You know, and he was there for a long time, and I would say several years at least. And then he started teaching and accepting disciples. So he would call San Francisco Chinatown as his home, and therefore he would accept his own disciples and start building temples. That's what monks do. They want a place where they can work as a monk. Okay, and so at the time it was very tight for him, very difficult in terms of money. Okay, and especially since he wouldn't ask or drop hints that he needed money at all. Okay, and the Buddhist disciples were not flocking to his way place because the Chinese, they have standards for temples. Same thing with Vietnamese and Koreans. Okay, more Koreans than Vietnamese. So when they come to a temple, they expect certain things like a nice Buddha hall, Buddha images, and so forth. Okay, and so he was not taken seriously. Maybe that's why he had to exhibit a lot of spiritual penetrations to differentiate himself from the others. Okay, those are very, very hard times for him. Okay, in the back, did you have a comment regarding this?
Master, our Way Mountain temple during the Chanchi, not every time, but when the light turned off and I bow to the three Buddha statue up there, I see the image of a very great man with muscle and very strong as a man. So when we turn on the light, it looked different, but when the light off, the three Buddha show as very adorned. That was like something, even the statue itself looked very normal, but during the Chanchi, somehow the three statues look like as if there is a person sitting there.
Is a person sitting there?
It was like really a Buddha or someone very powerful, very adorned as a man, as a very strong man. It's no longer sexual desire or anything. It was a real man sitting there and then looking at us. Does the man has hair, beard, or? No, the muscle was there. The muscle of the statue was like very, I don't know how to describe it. It's
Wait, no, I'm interested. The muscles are, all of a sudden the statues become muscular. That's what you're telling me.
Yes.
Yes? And then the statues look like they're three different men or one man?
So in the middle, Shakyamuni Buddha, when I make lunch offering, when nobody's here, I make lunch offering, that statue opened the eyes looking at me, and the other two statues seems to be in the meditation state.
Three men?
So it's three strong men.
Three muscular men. I'm sorry. It's probably not big enough for you.
As you know, I'm attracted to men, sexually desire. However, with these three statues,
Hey,
there's
no need to bring it up.
No.
Let's keep it PG-7.
But yes, Master. But then the three statue there was like give me inspiration. There's nothing about that desire. It's just like a real man sitting there. It's just like so holy like that.
Real
just
man
by the statue
sitting there. Are you not sure there are not the three sages from Taoism? You know, the longevity, the one with blessings, and Fu Lu Shou, and so forth. No, they don't. They look like Buddhas.
No, it's like I'm here sitting. It's just like I'm here and sitting.
Are they bare-chested? Is it how you could tell that they are muscular, like with the?
Master, the arm is really there. The arm right there is very.
The arm on the right hand
very,
side.
Very, how do you say it? Balanced. It's like a man right there. It's like I've never seen a beautiful
strong
man
arms
like that. It's like someone that's not overpowered, but it's just right there. It's just enough.
Are they taller than Peter, for example? Right now, tonight, Peter is the tallest. Are they tall? Or are they? This is interesting. Why are you laughing? This is very important. Those visions are very important. It's not hallucinations.
It's just the same height. It's just somehow the person. It's just like the present right there. But
Caucasian features or Asian features?
Exactly as your statue, but somehow the body looked different. It's just the body looked different, and especially Shakyamuni Buddha his eye was open and looking
at you.
Yes, and the other two was in the meditation state.
Wow, how cool! You know what it means, don't you? It's time for you to really shave your head much better. You know, there's a place for strong man. WMT. Okay, very good. So actually, it's a response that Shakyamuni Buddha showed to him. Okay, so knowing he likes strong men. It's so cool. Yeah. Interesting. So you like muscular men, huh?
Master, it's just the image which is beautiful, but there's no desire. That is desire.
Of course not. There's beauty in that too. Yeah. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Wow, isn't it cool? There's so many interesting things. Well, you learn some new things every day. Okay, JC.
안녕하세요. 입보 한선아입니다. 마스터와 승가에 감사드립니다. 전에 아파서 절에 오지 못한다는 질문을 드렸었는데 그 이후로 대상포진을 또 앓고 그냥 포기 상태가 되었고 현안 스님이 절에서 자고 가라고 하셔서 절에서 자고 가니 좀 나아지고 스님께서 단식을 해보라고 하셔서 절에서 지내는 것도 불편한데 단식을 너무 청천벽력 같고 내가 왜 하는 생각도 들고 여튼 제가 스님이 나쁜 걸 시키는 게 아니라 생각하고 3일 단식이 오늘 마지막인데요. 단식을 하겠다고 맘먹은 건 제가 독감과 대상포진으로 약을 많이 먹어서 몸을 깨끗이 하고 싶다는 생각이 들어서 3일은 시작했는데 어젯밤에 다시 9일을 해보라고 하시는 거예요. 저는 3일만이 최대라고 생각했는데 갑자기 9일은 제가 3일 끝나고 일정이 있어서 집으로 복귀를 하려고 하는데 너무 당황스럽기도 하고 한편으론 스님이 이유가 있으니 이야기하시는 것 같아서 괴롭지만 해볼까 하는 생각도 있고 괴로운 생각이 듭니다. 현실의 삶이나 일정도 중요한데 그것을 포기해야 하는가 하는 고민이 들고 수행을 지금 아니면 안 될 것 같은 생각도 들고 고민이 됩니다. 마스터의 지혜를 나누어 주세요.
Hello, this is Ipo Han-Sunhwa. Thank you to Master and Sangha. Last time I asked you because I couldn't come to temple because I was always sick when I tried to come to temple. And then after I suffered from herpes zoster, so I gave up. And then later, Venexay told me to come to temple and sleep over. And then I slept over at temple and I was better. And she asked me to try fasting. And I thought, even staying at temple is so uncomfortable. And on top of that, I have to try fasting. So it sounded like the end of the world. And why should I thought. But I knew she wasn't trying to make me try to do bad things. So I tried starting fasting. And today is third day, and I was aiming for third day from the first because I suffered from cold and herpes zoster, and I took a lot of medicine, so I wanted to purify my body. And so I thought, okay, for 3 days I could fast. But last night she asked me to do 9 days. And I thought like, at most I would try 3 days, but now for 9 days I have something to do. I was trying to go back to my house, and I don't know, I'm suffering too much, but I also feel that she asked me to do 9 days because there's a reason. So I have a reality, I have to live my life, but also at the same time, I think like cultivating, I have to do it now or never. So I'm wondering what to do. I need Master's wisdom.
She still has a cold. How is the cold?
다 나았는데 가래가 남아 있습니다.
I don't have cold anymore. I have, but I still feel something in my throat.
Okay. And she said that she had she's often ill. I didn't quite get it. How's her health in general?
평소에 나쁘지 않은데 절에 오려고 할 때마다 아팠습니다.
Generally, it's okay, but every time I tried to come to temple, I was sick.
Okay, that's very good. I mean, That's terrible. Sounds familiar, huh, guys? You remember when you first started, huh? It's a lot of obstructions that come to the temple. That's typical, okay? Because your karmic obstructions will try to stop you so that you cannot reap the benefits of cultivation. All right? Does she have a family or something? Or she's going back home after 3 days? Or?
예, 가족이 있는데 현재 결혼은 하지 않은 상태입니다.
I do have a family, but I'm not married.
Okay. And so you have to take care of your family, in other words. That's why you're going home after 3 days.
아, 그런 문제는 아니고 다른 일정이 있습니다.
It's not like that. I just have other things to do.
So you're going home after today, right?
내일 가려고 합니다.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay, it would be the end of the fast. Okay, when you fast, I recommend you stay at the temple. You cannot fast at home, number one. So if you plan on going home, then stop the fast. It's not possible for you to fast at home, okay? It's not the purpose of fasting. Fasting needs a proper environment, number one, okay? Number two, 9 days is too many days for someone who just got started. For newcomers, I would recommend 3 days. That's it. Do not go 9 days. How long can you sit in full lotus?
최대 2시간 앉을 수 있습니다.
2 hours maximum.
2 hours maximum. How long have you been sitting?
어, 10개월 정도 됩니다.
10 months.
10 months already? Oh, okay. That's the biggest problem is going home. You go home, you should not fast. Okay, so I would end my fast. If you stay at the temple, you could easily do 5 to 7. Now, is the nature of the fasting. The fasting is supposed to make you feel very tired. Okay, and that's why you fast. It's going to be very helpful for you. Will actually help make you improve your health. Okay, there's a suffering there, but it will cleanse out your system. Okay, so that the chi flows stronger. Okay, without any medication. So that's very advantageous to fast. Okay, but it has to be in the proper environment. All right, so that's what I would do. Okay, if possible, find another opportunity where you can come to the temple for 5 days or something, or 7 days, and try it. All right. Otherwise, you should end your fast. Okay. For you right now, you can sit for 2 hours at JC. You can easily do 5 days. Meaning you can endure more than that, okay? That you experienced so far. And you can stretch it to 7 days. Okay, 5 days is easy for you, but 7 days might be a little bit of a challenge. 9 days is too much for you since you don't have any real incentives to endure more suffering. Okay? All right. JMT has a question.
안녕하십니까. 저는 법이라고 합니다. 저는 사형 스님의 인연으로 보산사에 오게 되어서 너무 영광스럽고 감사합니다. 그런데 한국에서는 한 가지 수행을 깊이 하라고 그렇게 하는데, 예를 들면 능엄주를 하면 능엄주만 하고 대비주를 하면 대비주만 하라고 합니다. 근데 여기 와서 들으니 만트라가 너무 많았습니다. 그래서 여러 가지를 하라고 하면 어떻게 하는 건지 너무나도 궁금합니다.
Hello, I'm Bob. I came to Jo Mountain Temple introduced by other Sunim. I'm honored and very grateful to come here. I have one question though, that in Korea, when we cultivate, we advise Sunims to do one cultivation at a time, very deep. But so, for example, when you do Shurangama mantra, you only do Shurangama mantra, or if you select Great Compassion mantra, you only practice Great Compassion mantra. But when I come here, there's too many mantras. So when you say you advise to practice diverse mantras at time together, then I wonder how can that be? How can we practice lots of things at the same time?
Oh, do we have any problem practicing so many mantras? No one ever told me. I told them, to be honest with you, I taught them a lot of mantras. Even the old monk teaches Vietnamese mantras. And so everyone hasn't complained, but I can see where you're coming from. Yes, when I first started, I agree with you. I was advised by the Chinese people that I learned from to concentrate on one Dharma door at a time. They don't necessarily say concentrate on one mantra, but they would say focus on pick one Dharma door, meaning that if you happen to do a mantra, then do one mantra, or you want to do sutras and do one sutra, and so forth, okay? So that was, maybe that's along the line of your Korean temples, where you should focus on one mantra. And I found that to be a good advice if you have no one to help you in your spiritual practice. Okay? Because when you really don't have the proper foundation to practice, for example, chant or practice mantras, then it's easier for you to focus on one, and it simplifies your cultivation a lot. Okay, and you won't be as discouraged. Our practice is different. Our practice is, look around you. You have someone who's much higher level than you. Okay, and they got there because they followed the schedule that we have in our temples. During a chanchi, that's what we do. During the chanchi, for example, we don't necessarily practice the Hwato alone like you in Korea would do, okay? Or recite the Buddha's name alone, as people would do. As you found down here through Master Shinhua's chant talks, during the chanchi here, people were working as well, okay? So you see, this is because he was there to teach them, each and every one of them. So he paid attention to his disciples, and he guided them individually. And that's supposed to happen when you cultivate. This is why in a Chinese system that you don't have in Korea, we emphasize looking for a good knowing advisor to guide you in your cultivation, to counsel you in your cultivation, and more important than you guys realize, to help you in your cultivation. Okay? You just heard the lady at JC, Jewel Kong, saying that she had troubles coming to the temple. That's a reminder for all of you that if you practice a Dharma door, when you start a new practice, spiritual practice, that is beneficial to you, that will bring you great benefits, and I mean great benefits, more than you would otherwise get on your own, okay? Because of the system here, then your karmic obstructions will stop you from coming for tons of reasons. Whether you're sick, it's very often they're sick when they try to go to the temple that day, or have car troubles, traffic problems, weather problems, and very often too, family issues. Okay, and that's a sign right there, folks. We cannot brag about it. It's a sign that what they are going to get from a temple is so beneficial that they will be able to resolve those karmic obstructions, okay, that are manifesting. So that's why they have to head them off before these cultivators get out of range. Does it make sense to you? It's like they don't want to make you suffer before they can no longer make you suffer. Okay? So the system is quite different in our environment. So because of the guidance that you all receive individually, we find that it's a lot better for you to not to worry about one single Dharma door anymore. For example, if you wish that you continue to do your Hato, if you practice Chanya and Kriya, you want to continue your Hato, by all means, you can come to our temple and do the Hato. And we'll assist you as well, because you're going to run into problems when you do Hato, okay? You're supposed to run into problems when you do Hato. And if that's what you want to do, one single Dharma door, that's fine. It's not a problem at all. But in our environment, we find it a lot better. I personally find it much better that you should, let me give you two pieces of advice, okay? Number one, whatever Dharma door you want to practice, that's fine. That interests you, that's fine. But number one, I urge you to consider learning about what the Dharma master is good at. Okay? For example, if in the world, if you go to a restaurant and want to learn become a chef, you want to learn from the chef, whatever restaurant it is. If the chef specializes in French cuisine, learn French cuisine. Okay? If the chef is good at Chinese, learn Chinese. Don't say, I'm here, you will have a chance to draw near a great chef. A great chef is a lot more than just a French cuisine. It's his mind, his techniques, okay? All the exposures that you will get from being exposed to a great chef. Therefore, when you learn from a chef, it's not just a French cuisine, but also the way he thinks, the way he solves problems in his restaurant, because it's chaos in the kitchen, and so forth. So you see, you have a great mind at work, okay, that you're learning more than just French cuisine. Same thing. If you go to a place that specializes in Huatou, if your teacher is, for example, excels at Huatou, okay, then you should learn Huatou from that teacher. Just practice Huatou, okay, and so that you learn how to do it. Okay, at least be exposed to it. Instead of saying that, oh, I'm a Pure Land person, I will not learn Huatou because it doesn't do anything for me. Okay? You're missing out on learning from someone who excels at something. To me, that's invaluable. Okay? You have to keep an open mind. That's cultivation to me, number one. Okay? So keep an open mind. So therefore, don't say that I want to concentrate on this one mantra and maybe two maximum and so forth. You're missing out. You are just to your right there. That monk there is very strong in mantras, also very strong in Pure Land. Okay, his Chan is incredible as well. Okay, and so you see, he has so much you can learn from, more than your temples, for example. I can tell you that right now. Okay, so just listen, keep an open mind, and see what he wants to teach you. Okay, what we're doing as a temple, and you should be curious. You may not be able to notice it, but people around you, their samadhi level is much higher than you. I tell you that right now. These lay people, they are scary. These nuns are scary. Okay? Teji Sunim, just ahead of you right there. Her samadhi is higher than you. Okay? She's been with the temple only like, how long now? 1 year? Okay? And her level is higher than when she first joined us. All right? And she struggled a lot because she had to adapt to our system as well. Okay? People like you have been around too long. So you picked up all this knowledge here that's very useful around the temples, how to run temples, how to work with the lay people and so forth. But you are weak in cultivation, making progress in cultivation, because it's not the emphasis. For us, our emphasis is we don't care what you do as long as you improve. Okay? That's point number 2. Point number 2 is that when you are in the kitchen, stay in the theme of a kitchen. When you're in the kitchen, do you only use a chef knife that's 10 inches long? You also need to have a deboning knife. You have to have a cleaver to cut the bones and so forth. You want to have a lot of tools available to make your job easier. Cultivation is the same thing. You don't want to simply learn one mantra. You want to learn all sorts of mantras, okay? Because all the techniques are the same. You recite a mantra, whether you recite one mantra or 2 mantras or 10 mantras, the technique is all the same. Okay? What you don't realize, the teachers who taught you to focus on one Dharma door only, is because they don't know how to guide you. This is the real problem. When you focus on one mantra like that, okay, your progress is a lot slower than you were to focus on many, many mantras. Why is that? Because each mantra is more demanding, has its own obstructions, has its own demands. And this is exactly what we're looking for when we bring you here. We bring you here because we want to help you resolve your obstructions that you cannot resolve by yourself. So each mantra, for example, when you practice, okay, has its own very serious obstructions. And they all are stopping you in your progress. And that's why I feel personally that I will not tell you to specialize yet until after you enlighten, okay? And even after you enlighten, you have to reach a very high level before I allow you to specialize. And then after that, I will allow you to go to seclusion, okay? For another reason. Okay, so we think very long term, and the results speak for themselves. That's point number 3. Is there a question here? Yes, 9.
Emitofuo, Master. I just want to express my gratitude to you and the Sangha because I was able to do the 9 days fasting, and I know that I will never be able to do it by myself. And I'm happy because I was able to do it with your protection and the Sangha.
Okay, thank you. It's impressive that you're able to do 9 days. You know how hard it is to do 9 days. I don't like fasting because it's too hard. Okay, so I really have so much respect for all of you to be able to do 9 days, 10 days, 18 days, 27 days. That's incredibly hard. It's so hard. I know how much suffering it is. Okay, and so kudos to you to be able to hang in there for 9 days, because I know it's very difficult. Okay, what we do is difficult. It's not supposed to be easy. Chanchi is not supposed to be easy. I don't expect you to sit there all day and look adorned and so beautiful, like you're happy, then you're not working hard enough. Okay? And so our Chanchi is actually very ugly. People complain, they look like they're suffering so much, and they want to quit and so forth. That's cultivation. Okay? It's scary, but that's why they progress so fast. All right, congratulations. After you went through like that, it changes you. Okay? It makes you healthier. Okay? And now, slowly you see the difference. Okay? In your health, in your stamina, and especially in being more patient towards your daughter. She likes to hang out around you more. She's more affectionate. Instead of going to her dad to suck up his energy, now she finds that going to you also helps. Yes, go ahead, Nine.
She was very attached to me until like 3 years. She will never leave me alone. But it's like 1 year that she's been with him. I actually was praying that she will just give me a break.
I see. Yeah. Well, break time is over. When we have children, let me tell you, our responsibility is to let them charge up from us. Okay? You know when you drive an EV and you drive for like 100 miles and you have to stop and charge? The same thing for them. They have to charge. So typically people would give them food or drinks and sugar and so forth. Okay? When she comes and hugs you, that she's charging up. So, okay, it's good energy. So it's very important for you to give her good energy. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Master. And I start coming because I just want to be like a better model for my daughter, and just to be stronger and to teach different things that I never was able to receive from my family.
Yes. Very good. Keep it up. Good job. Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. We have a couple of requests and comments. The first is Sophia Gu. Master, I would like to ask permission to potentially teach meditation to my peers under you at my law school. I noticed a lot of interest at uni, and I can see how much it helped me deal with my stress and mental illnesses. I am very grateful to you and the Sangha. I would love to share your Dharma to more Australians.
Okay, thank you for your request. First of all, you're not strong enough to help people yet. So it's too premature for Sophia to try to help others, because when she starts helping people, she would find it very difficult for her to handle her own personal problems. Okay, so it's too premature. Yes, it's good. Keep it in mind until better conditions arise. Okay, but that's very good. Next.
Thank you, Master. We have a comment here from Fang Lan. I think this is referring back to Hong's vision that he saw with the three sages here at the altar. And she says, I also saw once the middle of three sages, with the middle of the three sages, Amitabha Buddha's face. From chin to lip, it changed into Master. I blinked and it disappeared. Maybe we all see different responses. For me, it strengthened my faith. It strengthened my faith.
No comment. Okay, anyone else? All these people, how come I see nothing? They see all the nice things. Okay. All right, continue, please.
So, in cultivating the way, cultivating Buddha Dharma, we also need worldly Dharma. In needing worldly Dharma, we also need Buddha Dharma.
Okay, he's starting a new section where section is rather interesting. I don't think I understood it. If I don't remember, I don't recollect this section at all. That means if I heard it, I didn't understand it. But this is very, very interesting. Let's continue and let me ask questions or I elaborate for you.
你不要偏重哪一边，这个佛法和世间法本来是一个。
Don't emphasize one over the other. Buddha Dharma and worldly Dharma originally are one and the same.
所以呀，六祖大师说，佛法在世，不离世间境。
So, as the sixth patriarch said, the Buddha Dharma is here in the world. Enlightenment is not apart from the world.
离世觅菩提，犹如求富。
And so, as the sixth patriarch said, to search for Bodhi apart from the world is like looking for a hare with horns.
佛法在世间，有这一句话证明啊，你想要学出世，就要先学入世。
The Buddha Dharma is here in the world. This statement proves that if you wish to learn about the transcendental, then you must first learn to wade into the world.
什么是入世？入世，你就把世间法都要明白。
What is wading into the world? To wade into the world, you just need to understand all the worldly Dharma.
你明白世间法之后，你一转身就是出世。
Once you understand the worldly Dharma, you turn around, and with just a twist, it becomes transcendental Dharma.
世间法你不明白，你就不能明白出世。
If you don't understand worldly Dharma, then you cannot understand transcendental Dharma.
好像你讲经说法，你讲经说法，你要不明白这个社会的问题。
Just like when you lecture on sutras and speak Dharma. You lecture on sutras and speak Dharma. If you do not understand the issues in our society,
社会的问题，你就不能讲。你讲经就是讲那个很死板，也没有人欢喜。
then you cannot speak on the issues in our society. When giving a sutra lecture, it will be very dry and no one will like listening to it.
你要明白世间法了，你讲的人人听着都合理，讲到每一个人的心里去。
Once you understand worldly Dharma and speak about it, everyone will find it reasonable. It touches the heart of each person.
令每一个人听了之后都法喜充满，都得皆大欢喜。这样子呢，就有人呢听你讲。
Making every person filled with joy upon hearing it, experiencing great happiness. In this way, people will want to listen to your sutra lectures.
你要不明白世间法，专门讲出世，你要修行，要行苦行。
If you do not understand worldly dharmas and speak exclusively of transcendental dharmas, saying, "Oh, you must cultivate, you must practice ascetic practices,"
你没有令他自己真明白这个苦行的道理，你就勉强叫他去做去，那他不会做。
You didn't truly help them understand the principles behind this ascetic practice on their own, and yet you force them to come and do it, so they won't be able to.
那么世间法就是要令人人都欢喜，不要令人人发脾气。
So with regards to the worldly dharma, the aim is to make everyone happy, not to make everyone angry.
你要令人人都发脾气，那人人就不能接受，所以要明白世间。
If you make everyone angry, then no one will be able to accept it. So one must understand the worldly dharma.
Okay, I have no choice, but I don't know what his conclusion is. Can I open my big mouth and talk now, or shall we wait until the end of it? Okay, let's now move on. Let's take a chance. Okay? So, just be prepared that I'm opening my big mouth. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay? So I apologize in advance if I screw up. Because he didn't, I usually wait for the conclusion and then try to, see where he's going. But since I don't have that, let's take a chance. No, I think it's more fun for me to sound like an idiot. Some of you will enjoy it. You ready? Okay, go back. No, it's okay. Yeah, let's go back to the suspension Dharma talk, the suspended Dharma talk. Okay. I'm curious. I couldn't understand it back then. I think I heard this vaguely, but I just don't remember because it didn't register at all, meaning I didn't understand it at all. But now, listening to it, I want to tell you what I think and see, and then we see how far apart we are when he came to his conclusion. Okay, so he says, now he's talking about cultivation, as we talk about in our world, cultivation is spiritual pursuit. We're trying to work at our soul, at our minds, okay, versus worldly Dharma is about our afflictions, okay? Let's be clear about it. When you talk about transcendental cultivation, or cultivation in short, you're talking about opening your wisdom. And worldly Dharma is about indulging in your afflictions. Anyone has any problems with it? Now the time is now to stop me and say, I disagree with you. Let's go Master Shenhua's route. Okay? And so this is a distinction. Worldly Dharma is that you chase after your afflictions. You're driven by your afflictions. Worldly transcendental Dharma or cultivation is about getting rid of your afflictions and therefore increase your wisdom. Becoming a better person. Okay? Worldly Dharma makes you a more afflicted person. The more successful you are in the world, applying worldly Dharmas, whether it's investing in stocks, whether it's inventing something, or whether becoming famous and so forth. Ultimately, the same common denominator for worldly Dharma is that people become more afflicted, not less afflicted. Do we agree on that at all? This is the distinction between worldly Dharma versus cultivation or Buddha Dharma. Buddha Dharma is we chop down on the afflictions. Worldly Dharma is that we increase our afflictions. You make more money, you have more afflictions. Yes, sir, 4.
Emitofuo Master, in worldly Dharma, is there a way he's pointing out how we can pursue our worldly needs in a more ethical way rather than just driven by our afflictions?
That's what he says. If you cultivate, you want to have both Buddha Dharma and worldly Dharma. Practically speaking, you're here right now because you depend on the worldly Dharmas, okay, where you will help pay for your physical needs, okay, security, safety, and so forth. Those are necessary. Without those, you cannot function. Okay? And at the same time, you need to have the Buddha Dharma to guide you to rise above those afflictions. So it has to be a combination. Okay? That's what he's saying here. Worldly Dharma needs Buddha Dharma so that you're better off. And Buddha Dharma needs worldly Dharma so that you can make progress. This is worldly Dharma. We need the architect, you need the handyman who fixes windows, and needs a person to go, buy groceries and cook and so forth and clean and so forth. That's worldly dharmas. Okay? So we need to have a balance. That's what I think that's where they're going. And the problem with people in the world, this is so important. This is why I feel that I hope that more and more people would take it seriously, the cultivation, the Buddha Dharma, because I'll give you an example. The season right now in sports, there's Australia Open in tennis and also football championship right now, the playoff seasons, okay? And I notice we're talking about the best competitors in sports. These are the people who dedicate their lives pursuing worldly dharmas. They excel in their field, whether it's tennis or whether it's football. Okay? And I noticed something. The one thing that why these people became champions is there is a common denominator. Let me use tennis as an example for your reference. Because football is too many people, it's too complex a machinery. It's beautiful, and the teamwork and the strategy and so forth is fantastic. It's very difficult to see. Okay, in tennis, it's easier because you have mano a mano, man to man. Okay, muscles. Okay, beautiful muscles. Okay, so it's easier. So you see how the football, in football, the coaches pinpoint the weaknesses in the team and attack those individuals. So therefore, it's very difficult to see. Whereas in tennis, you only have one guy attacking the other guy's weakness. So it's much easier to see. Okay, and so that's why I saw it, and I realize right now, that there is a tennis champion called Novak Djokovic. He's incredible. Okay, before I was a layperson, I watched him already. Okay, and I was curious about this guy. Okay, he's old now; he's like 37. Okay, and he's really in a league of his own. In tennis, when you reach 32 or so, you're on a decline. This guy's getting better and better and better. You know how he got better? His competitors prior to right now was Roger Federer, okay, who's highly admired. Okay, he's Swiss, and Djokovic is Serbian. Okay, so there's a difference in culture, difference in class. So what happened is that when Djokovic was 19 or so, he was very scratchy, and he was fighting Roger Federer. He was losing every single time. Okay, why is that? I look at that, I say, wow. Roger Federer back then, every time he met with Novak, okay, he would destroy Novak because of the fact that Roger Federer at the time was third dhyana. So on critical points, he could concentrate and deliver. Novak, on critical points, he thought too much and he froze, and he's not as fluid. Okay? And then, so I saw how Roger Federer, who is a third dhyana, okay, he's still third dhyana after all these years. Okay? And Novak was around, at best, second dhyana. So on critical points, when he has to deliver, Guess who can concentrate better? Roger Federer. That's why he beat Novak every single time. They met in championship, he beat Novak. Okay? And later, Novak started beating Roger Federer because Novak got the third dhyana. Okay? And actually right now, he's in fourth dhyana. So he brought the level of tennis excellence to next level. Roger was at the peak of the game in his career, was only third dhyana. So at third dhyana, you can do so much. Okay, physically, strategically, okay? Because that's the wisdom associated with this. But Novak, okay, met him and lifted above him. That's why Roger Federer is no match for Novak nowadays. It's not about age anymore. Same thing. Novak right now dominates young people because young people have very weak samadhis. The youngest guy, Carlos, whatever, he's only first dhyana. It's a huge difference. In the critical points, you just don't have the speed of mind to process the information when your life depends on it. I don't know, these people here, it's a matter of life and death, okay? Millions of people watch you and lots of money ride on you. If you don't make it, you don't make it to the big league. Okay, it's like death to them. You work so hard all year and compete that you have that one opportunity there to establish yourself and dominate the other person. That's when it's a do or die situation. And these young people, these athletes, they're not elite like Novak right now because it's the same common denominator. They may be good physically, and the coaches teach them how to hit stronger and so forth. But Novak always delivers whenever he's under pressure. And these guys could not. So Novak is like 10 years older than these guys, okay? But he delivers consistently because he has higher level samadhis. So let me tell you, Chan is, if you want to rise above your mediocrity, you have to practice Chan. And you see, I just gave an example of Buddha Dharma inside the worldly Dharma. You need both in order to lead a successful life. And especially if you think of yourself as elite, you need us. We are the best in meditation. I mean, we can dance circles around Master YongHua disciples as well. My disciples dance circles around his disciples because our Chan is much better. It's not about me, it's about them. You don't believe me? Go test them. All right? So that's why Chan is, I see Chan becoming stronger and stronger and more appreciated because of you. You are bringing differences in your own families, in your own jobs, in your own environment. People will notice. And they always want to say, what is your secret? Okay? I just explained to you the secret in Novak, why he's dominating the men's tennis, and the women don't have it, and the non-Novak people don't have it because they have low-level samadhis. That's his secret. It's not the diet. All these people said it's the diet, and he's tricky person and so forth. That's secondary. The main thing is that, can you deliver when it's a do or die situation? Okay? And if you have higher level samadhis, these people are actually pretty naive. Okay? Yeah. They only use them. But at our levels, we destroy you. It's not about ourselves anymore. At the teacher's level, we destroy you. That's why it's unfair. That's why we don't compete for that reason. Because we will destroy you. Novak is a baby. Okay? Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master.
So if they hire me as a coach, I destroy Novak and you win. You don't have to have samadhi power. That's why we don't compete. That's why we are not seeking after money. Unfair advantages because of the chant skills. That's why the chant skills are designed to do good, to benefit your family, benefit you, benefit your work, and so forth, not to harm others. Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. Just a quick mention for our YouTube audience to please like and subscribe if this interests you. And it's a really great talk about the effect of Chan meditation. So please give us a like if this is an interesting conversation, which we think it is. We have 2 comments here, Master. We have Venerable Sien Sho, and he says, really, Novak Djokovic has a kind of spiritual guru, a Spanish guy, and he practices meditation.
Yes.
And Jane Klein.
You know that. Before he goes to a championship, big championship, he goes to churches or go to a place to meditate. They know. Actually, all the athletes do that. They all have, because they spy on each other and so forth. But the point is that it's a technique. Whatever Novak did to get to 4th, that's pretty impressive compared to the other guys. But 4th to us is like nothing. That's why Chan is a scary, scary thing. I will not teach you to higher levels unless it's for you to do good, not for you to hurt others. Yes, next.
As a comment from Jane Clymer. Thank you, Master and the Sangha, for the tough training. Deep gratitude from the Great White North.
Okay, yeah, you're welcome. Yes, 6.
Master, I think you're really onto something about being able to establish yourself as an elite athlete with the development of samadhi. What we see a lot in the NFL is elite athletes that are just primed and outstanding at their position, and they just haven't rounded themselves off as a whole person. Not many of them have taken up meditation. There's been a few over the years. In basketball, you think about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Phil Jackson was a coach during the 80s, and they used to have a short meditation before going out on the court. But it seems like in the NFL, as a whole, they're not thinking that this would really improve me because I have such elite talents already.
Yeah, it's because it's a team sport, so they put more emphasis on teamwork. Plus, the owners are unenlightened; they don't understand the value. Okay, and it's a very short career for these people. Running back in an NFL is about 3 years to 5 years, maximum 7 years, and you're done. You just become an invalid. So there's a lot of emphasis on the physical side of it because it's a very physical thing. For the NFL, okay, for example, one of the great quarterbacks is Tom Brady. Tom Brady is first dhyana. Yeah, He's fantastic as a quarterback, okay? His is more his blessing. That's why he's so great, okay? His concentration is pretty piss poor for first dhyana. It's nothing, okay? And then but that's enough, okay? Most of the other quarterbacks are also first dhyana at best. No one is higher, okay? And for the elite in the NFL, I would go to the coaches. Billy Chick is third dhyana. So he used to be able to help his people. Okay, there's a way to do it. And he did it without knowing it. Okay, but that's very limited. And so if you want to go into the NFL coaching ranks, I would advise you to get the Chan thing. Okay, because the coaches need the wisdom to more effectively destroy the opposing team's members on the court. It's a game. It's it's a strategy game that you need to be smarter. Okay? Yes, one.
Master, thank you. In your Chan Handbook number 2, you mentioned that there's no professional athletes in the formless realm like that high. So is there anybody out there that's in another field besides Mr. Buffet that's on a high level, like an arhat in a profession?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't look at many of them. I'm intrigued by these people because, first of all, I like tennis. I like the sophistication of football. It's like a do or die. So I'm interested in how people behave, what it takes to succeed in that environment. It's applicable to the rest of us. So it's easy for me to see in tennis. It's easier for me to compare it against football. Okay? So that's the thing. Football is a lot more vicious, so you get hurt. So that intrigues me. It's close to war. You get killed. Okay? So it's extreme do or die that intrigues me. Okay? And tennis is much easier to look at. Okay? And NBA is way too athletic. It's muscles. Okay? So it's not a whole lot of samadhi you need to have. But a guy like LeBron James, who spends $1 million maintaining his physical health, if he were to look into meditation, they would extend his career a lot longer. You can make him healthier, more flexible, have more stamina. Okay. And so at the elite level, even NBA or NFL or tennis and basketball and so forth, and volleyball, you name it, golf, you name it, okay? What's his name? The guy, Tiger Woods, okay? He has samadhi because his mom is Thai. Okay, and so forth. These people, they are in the elite circles because they have higher samadhis, and it's the staying power. The staying power they have. That's what I pay attention to. That's why I look at them and say, "Oh, this big guy here has higher samadhi than the others, his competitors." That's why he could have such longer staying power than others. Okay? Anything else? Yes, 3.
Master, I just wanted to mention, I don't do sports, but one thing that I have noticed is since I have been meditating and coming to the temple, especially after these fasting, I had never felt the level of confidence in myself, and even confident in my spiritual practices. And maybe that is what is making me feel more confident. And so when you were saying, you know, how cultivating help us to succeed, so I don't mention this a lot, but I do have a master in psychology. I do have a master in neurolinguistic and communication and leadership. And none of those titles actually helped me to gain the confidence that I feel now after this fasting. And I am puzzled by how fast, because yes, the 9 days were like, these 9 days, this fasting was brutal, but I think that it clears so much and it purifies so much, and it allowed me to understand more clearly the Dharma talks. And I am impressed by that, because I have been trying to acquire a bit of confidence, but it's just right now feels like my normal self. So when you were saying this is strong, it is actually, I do feel good. I never thought I would feel this way after those 9 days. So I know it's powerful. I know it changes. I still don't understand how it all works, but just having that confidence allows me to continue. Like I said, this fasting has motivated me to be here, constantly listening to the Dharma as I am driving. And before I will be even tired, like, okay, that's it. But this time is like, do more. So I don't know how to explain that, but I do believe that, I guess because I have experienced it. So yeah, I wanted to say that, contribute that a bit of how practicing chant, cultivating, reciting, doing fasting, it all contributes to your overall well-being, because that's how I feel. So thank you.
Thank you for the feedback. As far as fasting goes, I picked up fasting from the fasting concept from Master YongHua's my stay at his temples. But unfortunately, his disciples refused to teach me. They would not let me in on the secrets he taught and trained them. I'm sure Jung was with him, and he was taught certain things that you do before fasting. I heard the same thing. I tried to learn them, and they wouldn't teach me when I was a novice. Okay, and the guy in Canada, and that Dharma master, he told me, he said, "You are a novice. This is a secret Dharma that we don't teach novices. So you have to be ordained before I teach you." And the guy is only second dhyana after 17 years with Master YongHua. And he's part of the executive committee. I would never allow people to do that. If you're second dhyana, you should be carrying water and cleaning bathrooms in my temple, okay? You should not be up there making decisions. But anyway, and so I didn't know what to do, but I thought I would try it. And over the years, because I learned from you, I learned so much from your own practices. That's how our fasting Dharma evolved. It's so much more effective than Master YongHua's, because you cannot impress me by saying I learned all these tips and techniques from my master, and I got to second dhyana, and all that knowledge is garbage to me. Okay? You can talk all you want. To me, I'm American. American meaning is a meritocracy. Can you deliver? You can deliver, I believe you. You can talk all you want. I don't believe you until you deliver. Okay? And so, yes, our fasting Dharma is very, very interesting because of all of you. I learn so much every single time. And the person fasts, and I say, oh, that's what's happening. That's how it evolved. Okay? It seems to work very well for a lot of people. We highly recommend it. All right, continuing. And so Master YongHua says, you cannot say, I only do Buddha Dharma, no worldly Dharma, like I erroneously thought myself. I said, now I shave my head. I only focus on the world, the Buddha Dharma or cultivation, and not do worldly things anymore. Okay, and Master YongHua says the Buddha Dharma and the worldly Dharma are one and the same. It is very profound. This is true. Okay, and so you don't need to understand. Just hear it, and eventually you understand when you get to a higher level. Okay? And he quoted a 6th patriarch who said, the Buddha Dharma is here in the world. Enlightenment is not apart from the world. Okay? I think this is can be translated better. Okay? The Buddha Dharma is drop the here. It is in the world. It's not here. Here is extra. It's not necessary. The Buddha Dharma is in the world. Okay? You can reach enlightenment while in the world. That's what it means. It's not apart from the world. That's for babies. Okay? That's for people who don't understand what the 6th patriarch means. He says, while you're in the world, you can become enlightened. You don't need to leave the world. Don't be scared. You can be a mom, you can be a teacher, you can be a nurse, you still can become enlightened. You can be a loser like Mr. Buffet, you still become enlightened. Okay? So, 说离世间密菩提The English is weird. Yes, one.
Thank you for that.
It's ludicrous.
Yeah, thank you for that feedback, Master. Is it any less weird than the Chinese?
No, the Chinese is beautiful. Hey, careful. This is 6 patriarchs. Don't you dare. I will slap you. He's my teacher. Okay? 离世见, 离世, 密菩提. Can I fix it? You want me to fix it? Okay. To leave the world. To search for Bodhi. Okay? Meaning you separate yourself from the world, say, yeah, so this is so dirty, this is so crazy, this is so Republican, this is so democratic, Democrat or whatever. It's nonsense. You can find enlightenment in ugliness. You can find beauty in ugliness. You find enlightenment in depravity. You don't have to run away. Okay? To leave the world to search for Bodhi, Bodhi means enlightenment, is like looking for a hare with horn. Yeah, that's fine. You have to excuse these people, they're really Chinglish. They don't understand English. They may have a degree in a master's degree or PhD in whatever, but they never really lived in America. They're so Chinese. Okay, they're not real Americans. So that's why the translation sucks. When it comes to important distinctions and these subtleties of the Chinese teaching, number one, they don't understand the Chinese teaching, number two, really, and number two, they don't understand the English language, how to express it. Yes, one.
Thank you, Master. Thank you so much for your improvements. What does the sixth patriarch mean by leaving the world to search for Bodhi? Like to meditate, to enter Samadhi?
I'm going to explain that for you. Okay? The Buddha Dharma is in the world, meaning that this is why I prefer to have temples in the cities. I don't need to run away to teach you. My excuse was that originally I said, you're here. When we were at Lu Mountain Temple, I said, if I move away from you, I cannot help you anymore. Okay, you have to drive too far to get to me. So I prefer to stay in the cities. And besides, my excuse is that there's more of you here. I can teach. The longer I get, the further I'm away from the cities, the big cities. I love big cities, by the way. Okay, then the few people would be willing to drive to come to us to help. Whereas in a big city like this, you can, after work, drop by and do something at a temple, eat something, or join the evening ceremony, or participate in mantra session, repentance session, and so forth, meditate and so forth. Right there, okay, for you to recharge. Okay? And so that's why the Buddha Dharma is in the world. It's right here. You don't have to go anywhere. And that's the spirit. This is why I first established temples in the big cities. That's my preference. And then later, I will establish big way places in the mountains or away from the cities where it's a different kind of practice. Okay? Okay, so the Buddha Dharma is in the world. This is the vision of the patriarchs. Okay, it's our jobs to make the Buddha Dharma available to you so that you don't have to run away from the world. Okay, number one. Number two, he reassures us. For the people, he said, but we are left home people. We are supposed to be doing spiritual things. That's why the next line explains, don't worry. He understands the objection of a professional like Xian Tong immediately. He said, I shaved my head. I left behind my marine-related background. Okay, she's in the Navy, but I gave her, I blow it up a little bit, make her feel better. There's a big difference between Navy SEAL 6 versus Navy. Okay, never mind. Let's not get distracted. So she's going to say, I shaved my head and all you want me to do now is wait into the world again? That's why the sixth patriarch says, don't worry. You can become enlightened while you're here in the world. There's a way to become enlightened when you're in the world. actually, more specifically, why in the world you will reach enlightenment faster, because it's much more difficult. If you are not scared by the difficulties and the challenges, you reach enlightenment a lot faster. So, for example, for the visiting Sunim in Korea who says she's taught to concentrate in one Dharma door, okay, and stay away. She probably also are told when you do that, you should stay away from the world, okay. That training process is very, very slow. And it is taught that way because they can minimize their instructions for her when she has issues. Whereas for us, we are constantly bombarded with all sorts of issues from you. And that's when I teach my Sanghans. Because you come to me and say, this person comes to me and has this problem, what do I do? I say, are you afflicted? I say, do you care? If she says, I don't care now, I say, don't worry. I say, whatever they do, don't worry, ignore them. But when they say, this afflicts me, that's when I teach them. So you need worldly issues to help our people become enlightened faster. Same thing for you individually. You live at home. That's why your afflictions, there are a lot of afflictions, the TVs and everything else. Okay? Children and everything else. She doesn't get it. Okay, I'm checking her English. It's okay. No, let her be. Okay? So you at home, you have all these afflictions and these obstructions in your cultivation. And if you're serious, okay, then you can make progress very quickly as well. So whether you're a layperson or a Marine, okay, you all have different challenges. And if you're committed to your cultivation, serious about your cultivation, your obstructions actually are opportunities for you to improve faster. That's all. Okay? So you don't have to run away from the world, meaning you don't have to run away from worldly problems. You can rephrase it, paraphrase it as, you don't have to run away from your worldly problems in order to become enlightened. That's what this means. But, and then he emphasized again, if you want to become enlightened, now he's very specific, okay? He says, many of you want to leave the world, search for Bodhi, okay? Meaning you become a monk or nun or run away to the frontier regions like the Hinayana people like to do. Go up the mountain, go hide in the valleys, and try to become enlightened. Is like looking for a hare with horns, okay? This is so true. You need losers in order for you to become enlightened. That's why we call them, worldly people, losers. Okay? Yeah. And yes, JC.
Sir, you mentioned about the seclusion practice for some of us for 6 years. So does it mean that's only for greatly enlightened people for seclusion practice?
Yeah, for lower level people, you're better off staying engaged with society. You improve a lot faster. I'm only interested in the top people. That's when I allow them to go into seclusion. I'm different from Master YongHua. Master YongHua allows people to go to seclusion. I find that I leave you in the mud. I train you better. You improve a lot faster. That has been the case for us. Master YongHua is a mixture. He allowed people to go in seclusion. I look at the results. Okay, he had the full spectrum. People go into seclusion, people work, and so forth. Okay, and overall, I'm not impressed. So that's why I don't want you to feel that you're done here because they cannot catch up with you. They don't have the Dharma to catch up with you. But I'm encouraging you to think bigger because there's a lot more around the corner. Okay? Meaning that we need to fulfill our work first, and then the higher level people can then deserve to improve more. They have to work first. Okay, so he elaborates. Oh, it's 9 o'clock already. I don't think we have time to finish it tonight. So let's field a couple more questions and we stop. Yes, 6.
Emitofuo, Master. Sometimes it feels like being virtuous in the world is like leaving the world. Can you talk about that?
How can you talk like that? I don't understand why being virtuous in the world, being virtuous is like leaving the world. Give me an example.
That's easy. Not lying. That's weird. That's a weird thing for a person to do in the world. People say you're an idiot for not lying. Not drinking with your friends. That's also it makes you an oddity, really. I mean, I believe it's the right path, right? And I want to pursue it, and I'm trying to pursue it. But it does feel like away from the world.
Initially, you need to separate yourself from the usual noises and the bad habits that you acquired your entire lives. So you have to step away, like step to the temple. Go to the temple. That's walking away from your worldly environment so that you learn new tricks, new habits. And when you come back, that's when you try to see and learn how to incorporate those better habits into your daily life. How is it leaving the world? To me, it's living better, learning to live better instead of being a victim of society, of your bad habits. What's so great about feeling you have to drink with your friends and get drunk? I used to do that. I used to go for half a quart of hard liquor and then crawl on my feet because I couldn't walk anymore, and then barf in the toilet. What's so great about it? It's fun, but the price is not worth it. And so, is it leaving the world because you stop drinking? I don't think so. You can, just because there's pressure from your peers and your friends, your family, to force you into the mold of losers and people who are confused, you should give yourselves a chance to say no occasionally, or to moderate it. Okay, for example, so if you are supposed to get drunk with your friends and you feel they're important because they're part of your promotions, okay? Your peers, your bosses, and so forth. They bring you, especially in Japan, they bring you to work. They go after work in Japan, in Korea, after work, you go socialize and get drunk, and that's expected of you. Bring your clients out and entertain them. And you're supposed to get drunk and so forth. That's part of marketing, it's part of sales. Okay? You are learning that there's a price to pay. And therefore, you have to learn to moderate yourself first. Okay? If there's necessary, you have to learn to moderate yourself. But if you don't have to me, it's a good test of how much they value your friendship with you. Just because you don't get drunk with them, there must be other ways to have fun together than just getting drunk and destroying your bodies. What's so great about it? Is it really leaving the world? No. It's Buddha Dharma, you learn to reduce it, to moderate it naturally. And because that's necessary for you to stop these bad habits and stop hurting yourself. Cultivation. The first thing that happens when you cultivate is that your body gets healthier. And that requires you to stop doing stupid things that hurt you physically. Your bad diets, your drinking habits, your smoking habits, naturally you get rid of them because your body rejects it. It says, I don't like this anymore, naturally. Is that leaving the world? No. That's living a healthier life and choosing hanging out with better friends. Okay? Anyone else? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Let's continue tomorrow night.